Hi everybody, and welcome to this tutorial where I want to create clouds and sky and a little bit of sea by using Panpastel and pastel pencils. Now what I do first is I'm using the Me Tainted Touch paper by Canson, and I put in 2 markings, and then I simply take a little sheet of paper, place it on the Me Tainted Touch paper, and then I'm grabbing my Panpastels and my Panpastel knife, and I pick up a little bit of light blue, and I simply put that over the little piece of paper, and in that way I can start to create the horizon already without using a very thick line or something, or even a thin line. I'm already creating the lower part of the sky by using this sheet of paper. Oops, went under it a little bit, but that's not very important. You can see it. I skipped underneath it a little bit, but what you can see actually is a horizon created in no time whatsoever. Now this is the line for the sea, the dividing line between what is sea and what is land. So this is a thick layer of, I'll erase this part. You can see, you can still erase if you want the Panpastel, so that's no problem at all. So on the top part we have a huge amount of paper, what we can use to create sky and clouds. And then we have a tinier space for creating sea and waves, and a shallow layer of water there on the right side. So let's see what the Panpastel can do for us. Now the sky way above us, so on the top of your drawing, always is darker than the sky part towards the horizon. So this already is a great way to create the feel of 3D when creating skies. Now here I tap my Panpastel knife a little bit. For instance, you can do that to tap out the darker pigments when you are picking up the lighter pigments. And well, to create skies and clouds, especially for the clouds, I simply use little circular motions, and in that way you can create very quickly the cloud effects, and well, just tapping them in together, adjusting them together, and well, this gives a nice feel of 3D. You can make it equal. You can make an equal sky very quickly, but you can also put in a lot of clouds, which I prefer. I wanted to well, do a tryout, also a tryout with the rubber sponges. You can see them here in action. So I just love to demonstrate to you the possibilities of the Panpastel. Oh, I can see a little smudge there. I touched the paper with a greasy finger, so you can see a little dot there, but I will also show you how to get rid of that. So, well, sponges, great for using to apply the pigments onto the paper. Also blending, I'm picking up a little bit of light blue here, just blend them together, tapping them into that rough paper. It's very rough, it feels like a grinding paper, sandpaper if you want. But also here you can see it's very easy to put in clouds. I will get rid of that little greasy spot there. just go over it with the pencil eraser and the brush, and then well, you can just get rid of that. And on my Patreon page, I did a complete tutorial about this, creating skies with the Panpastels. It's a long tutorial, it's an hour and 10 minutes, so if you want to learn more, please join me on my Patreon page. Now, for this moment, I am working from top to below and then from below to top. So I work towards each other. And I do have a reference picture lying on the left, but I wanted to, well, start drawing / painting with the Panpastels, also from my imagination. I want to create a huge heavy cloud on top, and then the sun is behind that thick cloud, and from behind that cloud a beam of light, maybe those God rays, are coming downwards and then move towards the sea and the land. So I also use a little bit of yellow and just see what that brings me. Now this is the reference picture. I will place it here for you so we can see how to deal with the part of the sea. And you can see a diagonal line going there. And then way on front, here on the left, there's a big wave hitting the beach, hitting the shallow part. So that's what I want to keep in mind while I am creating the sea. And this the sea in the reference picture is very bluish. And in the Netherlands, the sea is more like a little bit more brownish. So I wanted to keep it Dutch. So I want to create a Dutch sea, and using the reference picture purely as inspiration to get me going. And I see a lot of tiny waves there in the far distance, and I'm using horizontal lines for creating those waves. So I'm keeping them horizontal. So keep that in mind. Do not go diagonal with those waves. Keep them vertical. And this is the big wave on the left, which is nearest by. Then the pastel pencils, they can be excellently be combined with the Panpastels. You can just go over them and you can tap it in a little bit, those pigments, and by using the pastel pencils you can put in a little bit more detail. So that's nice too. It's also for the tip of the waves, for instance. Here I'm using the very light yellow, and you can even use it in the sky if you want to create some kind of a color here that you do not have in your Panpastel set. Then you can combine them together. And by the way, you can also make this beautiful sky and sea completely in pastel pencils by using only your pastel pencils and the Panpastel knife. So that's a possibility too. Now you can see it here. I've created a beam of light upon the sea itself, the surface of the sea, but also here in the shallow part on the beach. There's a shallow layer of water on the beach. So I thought that was very nice to try to capture. And this is my white pastel pencil. You can use that for the foam that is upon the waves there. And in that way, You get a very, very active and moving effect. Everything is moving around. The clouds are constantly moving around. The waves and the sea itself, it's all moving around. It's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the water is just hitting the sand, hitting the sand. So that is what I was trying to grasp here in a very, very impressionistic way. And I just love the Panpastels because it prepares you for becoming a painter. It's more painterly than drawing, also because of the Panpastel knife, which kind of functions like the brush of an oil painter or something. So it is very, very nice indeed, and they do not come cheap. Also, the paper is not cheap, but it's very, very much worth it. So, well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. And maybe I will see you on my Patreon page one day. That would be great. So, I will see you again in the next tutorial.